Hey everyone, and welcome. Get ready to buckle up because today we are going on an absolutely incredible journey. This is your official Explorer's Guide to North America.
So, let me ask you something. Have you ever wanted to be an explorer? Like discovering brand new places, climbing these huge mountains, or maybe navigating some giant rivers?
Well, if you said yes, you are in luck. Go ahead and grab your gear because today we are all explorers, and our mission? To discover the absolutely amazing continent of North America.
Okay, first things first, the number one thing you gotta know about where we're headed is just how big it is. I mean, get this, North America is the third largest continent on the entire planet. It is just massive.
It's so big, in fact, that the whole thing sits completely in the top half and the left half of the globe. The northern and western hemispheres. Think about it. You've got the super cold Arctic Ocean way up top and the huge Pacific Ocean over on the west.
All right, so now that we've got our bearings and we know where we are on the map, let's meet the main players, the countries that make up this incredible place.
Here's something that might blow your mind. Most of North America is really just made up of three giant countries. We're talking about Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And together, they cover something like 95% of the entire continent. That is a huge amount of land.
Oh, and we can't forget about Greenland. It's this absolutely colossal island. I mean, it's the biggest island in the world. And yep, it's part of our North American adventure too.
Okay, explorers, listen up, because this is the main event. We're about to dive in and journey through the four major zones, the big regions that make North America so unique.
So, here's our game plan, our itinerary. First, we're starting out west, in the rugged Western Cordilleras. Then, we're going to head to the ancient heart of the continent, the Canadian Shield. From there, we'll pop over to the east to visit the old, wise Appalachian Mountains. And we'll finish up by crossing the enormous Central Lowlands. You ready? Let's do this.
First stop on our tour, the Western Cordilleras. Now picture this. It's this huge, sprawling chain of mountains that runs all the way down the western side of the continent. I'm talking from Alaska, way up north, down to Panama.
So, a cool way to think about these mountains, they're kind of like the teenagers of the continent. They're still pretty young, geologically speaking, so they're super tall and spiky. This is where you'll find Denali, the absolute tallest peak in all of North America. And get this, they're part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, which means, active volcanoes and earthquakes. It's a really dynamic, exciting place.
All right, next up on our journey, we're heading east. And believe me, the landscape is about to change completely. Welcome to the Canadian Shield.
So this is the ancient core of North America. We're talking super old hard rocks. And way back in the Ice Age, these enormous glaciers moved across, scraping and carving everything. And that's why there are thousands and thousands of lakes here today. And you know what else? It's like a giant treasure chest. It's just packed with valuable stuff like gold, silver, and copper.
Okay, for zone number 3, our expedition takes us all the way over to the eastern side of the continent. It's time to meet the Appalachian Mountains.
Okay, remember how we called the Western Cordilleras the teenagers? Well, the Appalachians. These are the wise, gentle grandparent mountains. They're way older, and they've been worn down over millions of years by all that wind and rain, so they're much more rounded and, well, gentle. But don't let that fool you. They've got their own treasures too, like tons of coal.
And now for our final stop on the ground. We're heading right into the heart of the continent, to the vast Central Lowlands.
So picture this huge, mostly flat area, just kind of sandwiched between the mountains on the west and the mountains on the east. You've probably heard of it as the prairies, right? Well, the soil here is just unbelievably fertile, thanks to all the stuff left behind by those ancient glaciers and rivers. And that makes it one of the most important places for farming in the entire world.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground, right? But you really can't understand North America without talking about its mighty rivers. Seriously, they're like the lifelines of the entire continent.
And what's so cool is how they all flow in different directions. It's like a giant plumbing system. You've got these huge river systems, like the Mackenzie River, that flow north, all the way to the freezing Arctic Ocean. But then you've got the super famous Mississippi River, which drains a massive chunk of the continent south, down into the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico.
And these rivers, plus the Great Lakes, are just so important. I mean, think about it. They're like natural highways for boats, moving stuff around.
We use them to create clean energy, that's hydroelectricity, and of course they provide the water we need for all those farms and for millions and millions of people in the cities.
Wow, what an expedition, right? We have covered so much ground. So, before we wrap up, let's do a quick, super high-energy recap of everything we just saw.
Okay, so what do you really need to remember? Number 1, North America is huge, the 3rd largest continent. Number 2, it's got those 4 awesome zones, right? From the spiky young mountains out west to the gentle old ones in the east. And don't forget that ancient mineral-rich shield and the huge fertile plains in the middle. And last but not least, those giant rivers that act like highways connecting the whole place. And just like that, our tour is over. We've seen it all. Towering peaks, ancient rocks, mighty rivers, the whole shebang. So, I've got one last question for you. After everything we've seen today, which one of these amazing places would you want to visit first? The Spiky Mountains? The Ancient Shield? Something to think about. Thanks so much for exploring with me today.